Hi guys, welcome back to the news. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio risks jail for allegedly disobeying an order of the court as Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan commenced her contempt proceedings against the Senate. In a notice of disobedience of court order signed by the registrar of the court, pursuant to Section 72 of the Sheriff and Civil Process Act 2004, and notice of disobedience of order of the court made on 4th March 2025. The court now had noted that Godswill Akpabio has disobeyed the court order. The court noted that the disobedience rendered Akpabio, Senator Ima Swum, and the clerk of the National Assembly liable for the contempt of court for which they might be committed to prison unless they comply with the said order. Now, my country people, things are getting messier in this Natasha Akpoti versus Akpabio Senate saga. Things are really getting messier. International bodies, have also vowed to interfere in this case. Yes, we recall that Senator Natasha Akpoti had approached the United Nations to report her suspension. Some persons did not agree with the move made by Senator Natasha, the likes of Very Dark Man and other persons who criticized Natasha's move, tagging it as a big mistake, that she made a big mistake, that the United Nations she reported to would not do anything, that they cannot do anything. So, the Akpabio versus Natasha's case does not concern, other nations. So, how do they expect, or how does she expect they would interfere in this case? However, the UN nation, the IPU had noted that they will investigate, that they are going to hear from Akpabio's end what really transpired in this case. So, my country people, what are your thoughts on this?
It's also important for the public to know that whatever decision we arrive at here is unanimous. And I recall the last decision we took, and which concerned one of our sisters here, the senior Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. I'm also aware that when she left the chambers, she went to Brekete Radio, and she went to Arise Television, and she distorted the facts. I'm aware further that she has now externalized the matter by attempting to embarrass the Federal Republic of Nigeria by going to give a narrative at the IPU UN event, totally different from what occurred in the Senate. But I want to thank our Right Honorable Member Kafilat, right? That's her name. Kafilat Okwara, who had to give a press conference in New York to caution the international press not to vilify Nigeria, but to note that the facts presented by her were totally out of tune with what occurred in the Nigerian parliament, and that we have our own internal mechanisms of resolving issues in Nigeria. And outside this parliament, we also have the judiciary, which she's even standing before the judiciary. So I don't know why even here, she has brought a petition, and she has not allowed us to even look into it. She went to court, and then she has not allowed the court to look into it. She has gone to the international community, and she may not even allow the international community to look into it. She may decide to run to I don't know where. I don't want to be misquoted, but the reality is that we remain resolute. We are law-abiding. We operate through the rules of the Senate, which is an extension of the powers and privileges given to us by the ground norm, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We still are open to making sure that we remain in peace, and we left room for her to recognize that what she's doing may even frighten a lot of men in future from even appointing or selecting female deputy governors. You can imagine if somebody like Kamala, the immediate past vice president of the United States, were to go on CNN to say that Biden, the president, sexually assaulted her by shaking her hand or by holding her hand to show her the office of the president, then automatically it means that nobody will pick another woman as vice president. But I have 4 daughters, so I want to plead with politicians, still give my 4 children a chance. Do not take the action of one person and punish others. My religion and the Bible are forbidding that the sins of the father will no longer be visited on the children. So please, we still have so confidence in our female folk.
That's the highest political class. They said it, the most respected political class. Akpabio should be in prison.
How?
In a decent society, Akpabio should be in prison. Many people like him should be in prison. I mean, go and read what the FCC has said about him, and they never closed the case. They just silenced the FCC. You know, when there's 44 billion, 90 billion, something billion, all charges against one man, and it has not been the charges have not been vacated. And you find him now, you know, going with excessive what do they call it? People running after him, this siren blowing people. And he goes about, you know, shamelessly. He should be in prison. People like him should be in prison. He has no business being in government. He has no business being in charge of a country like Nigeria. And at the top, he's number 3 citizen, for God's sake. It makes you sad as a Nigerian, as somebody who has lived in this country for years, as somebody who has lived 88 decades in this country, to have a person like an Akpabio as president of the Senate.
Has he done well as the president of the Senate?
He has just been clowning. I can't point out what he has done, or what the Senate itself has done. I can't point out anything that they've done.
Is Natasha out to bring him down, or Akpabio is bringing himself down?
I don't know. It's because it's still part of the problem of this country. Akpabio has never been. Is a man on the ground. These are people. This ordinarily is a plebeian. Is somebody ordinarily is a nobody. People like him are people living on the mat, sleeping on the mat.